Can they join the event if it's live? I think so. Yeah. Okay, we're live and we're back. We're back. Just we're running a little bit late, and we're missing a couple of producers, so we'll just hold on for them. Somebody told me that in the last live session you couldn't see the screen I was sharing. Well, I've fixed that now, so I'm going to go back to the sessions, the live interviews that we had, and show you what you didn't see, should you be repeating the session. So I'm going to share the screen, okay, and we're going to go wow down the tunnel, and here we have, on the Wine Pleasures website, we can. Here are the three wineries we talked to earlier, so Atlante, and we click on there and we get information about the importers and the countries they're looking for, and the wines we talked about, and then you can send them an appointment request, say who you are, and you want to talk about volcanic wines, possibility of a niche market. And there you go. And the same for Monte, same thing. And Bin's family of Ferrer we also featured in the last live interview, and the same form. So please use these forms, suggest a date that you want to talk, and they'll get back to you and fix a time, date and time. The other thing I wanted to show you is that if we go here to Spanish Wine Week replay, as we're putting up the sessions earlier today. This is session 1. So if you missed it or want to see it again, you can click on the video link, and we'll be putting up session 2, session 3, and this session now with Bodegas Monte de la Reina, Bodegas Tempore, we hope, and Hermanos Frías del Bajo also will go here. Okay, so stop sharing. And if you didn't see that, let me know. Tomoshiro, hey, from Japan. Yeah, good to see you. I haven't seen you for years, man. Right, well, we're going to introduce you now to the first producer from the Toro. And if you saw the first session this morning, you would have seen that Toro is up next to Viejo, isn't it? It's neighboring the Viejo. So let's, I see somebody's just joined in, that's good. Okay, so let's go over to you. Forgot your name. Yeah, Teresa, there we go, it's on the screen. Teresa, can you tell us a little bit about wines from Toro, particularly your wines, and the kind of terroir and climate, give us an idea, and then look at the 2 wines that you brought along with us virtually today.
Yeah. Well, that's perfect, because I have 45 minutes only for me.
No, we got something else come in now.
I know.
Sandra thinks in.
So good afternoon, everyone. First of all, it's a pleasure to be here today, and thank you very much for your assistance. As I said, my name is Teresa Folgado, and I'm from Bodegas Monte la Reina in Toro. The second one, it's to apologize, but I don't have the wine physically here today. I have had a setback with the transport, so I'm teleworking. So sorry. you already know, as you can listen in the panel today, Toro is a appellation of origin of the province of Zamora and Valladolid, watered by the Duero River. It's located between 600 and 750 meters altitude with continental Mediterranean climate. I think that Clara explained really good today all about this. This continental climate with really cold winters and hot summers, altitudes around 750 meters, as I said, and a strong change of temperature between day and night provide the necessary conditions for the grapes to acquire an excellent maturity and a very balanced expression here in Toro. The soil in Toro, as most of you already know, it has a high content of river stones. So we have a lot of stones that accumulate heat during the day and act like a temperature regulator during the night. Top of the soil is sandy, is light, is well drained, and really poor in organic material. Our subsoil is often clay, a vital characteristic in this arid area that we stay. Monte la Reina stay just in the middle between Toro and Zamora, more or less 10 kilometers from Toro, and has some of the oldest vineyards in Spain, with so we have vineyards that has more than 100 years. Thanks to all of this, the type of soil, basically the phylloxera didn't manage to destroy the vineyards here in our area. Not only in our area, most in our whole region.
Hola, Anthony.
I heard, I don't know.
Sí, ya estamos, ya lo tenemos. ¿Vale? Perfecto. Gracias.
Okay, it's okay.
Tienes los cascos.
Anthony, you can.
Yes, no problem. Just a gremlin.
Okay.
Do carry on.
Okay. So I told you a lot more. So being this soil so sandy, the phylloxera couldn't move forward, and for this reason, this region, our region, has these old vineyards and these old grapes. And now we talk a little about the winery, about Monte la Reina. Monte la Reina is a family winery. Today, I think that more or less it's the third biggest winery in Toro. As I told you, really close to Toro town, 10 kilometers more or less. Monte la Reina has two different. So the winery started to work in 2004. We work with 350 hectares of our own vineyard. We only work with our own berries. Around more or less 250 of Tempranillo or Tinta de Toro grapes and 100 of Verdejo grapes. We only work with Verdejo and Tinta de Toro for elaborate our wines. Monte la Reina has two different production rooms, both of them with temperature control systems to to ensure a perfect monitoring of the fermentation and elaboration of the wines. Our cellar is formed mainly by French oak barrels. We buy new barrels every year. This room has capacity for around 1,000 barrels, in which the wine rests at between, I suppose that it's at the rest in the same of the winery, around 14 and 18 degrees, and humidity near 83%. Regarding the wines, as you already know, Toro is mainly a land of red wines, potent and well-known red wines. Also, very good wines are also being made in Toro now. So I think that people don't know really much about the white wines in Toro, but we, in all the region, we are elaborating really interesting white wines. In our case, reds are elaborated only with grapes 100% Tinta de Toro for the red wines, and 100% Verdejo for the white wines. We have a wide variety of wines with DO Toro, with appellation of origin Toro. Also, we also elaborate wines from Castilla and León, and we elaborate bubbles wines elaborated by Charmat method with 100% natural carbonic. Really interesting wines, and for this season, really easy to drink wines, really funny wines with a really impact image. So really interesting wines too. The wines that I want to show you, sorry, by picture, so I haven't here physically today. The first one is our Castillo de Monte la Reina Roble. I show you by picture. Is that one? I see that in the chat people that know this wine. So first of all, our Castillo de Monte la Reina Roble, a wine elaborated with 100% Tinta de Toro grapes, aged for 6 months in French oak barrels. Is a really small and elegant wine, a wine that has a very important place for the fruit, but with a elegant touch of wood. So it's a wine that maintains the youngness of the fruit. So it's really, it's easy to drink, but has this interesting touch of wood. A wine with a really powerful color, like all the wines in Toro. So all the people know that in Toro has a really potent and powerful color wines. A brilliant wine with 13.5 degrees of alcohol. I don't know if you see the wine. Okay. On palate, this wine is intense. So you know that the Tinta de Toro is a really intense variety of grape, rounded with a really good volume. The initial fruity character gives way to vanilla notes. So the best partner, I think that this wine is the best partner with rice, with pasta, maybe with a roast meat, but it's not necessary with a meat. So you can drink alone or with pasta or rice. I think that it's a good option. The second one that I want to present you today, and maybe the most popular wine of our winery, is our Castillo de Monte la Reina Cuvée Privé. Before talking about this wine, I would like to comment that this wine has won the award of Best Crianza of Spain in 2019. So we are very proud of that wine, and maybe today is our best seller wine in the winery. It's a really special wine, also elaborated with 100% Tinta de Toro grapes, but with a different. Because it's made in a late harvest. Okay, so that is why the residual sugar is higher than in other wines. So it's not a really dry wine. This one has around 3.9 grams per liter of residual sugar. This residual sugar makes a perfect blend between the power of Toro, the tannin of Toro, and this touch of sweetness. So it's unbelievable. It's a wine that has 14 months in French oak barrel and in Caucasian oak barrel. It's the only wine in the winery for that we use Caucasian oak barrel. And anticipating to the question, I will say that the Caucasian oak barrels are barrels that we buy really close to Russia, and are barrels that are really similar to the French oak barrels, but with the characteristic that give to the wine a more chocolate and a more vanilla note. So it's the perfect blend with the residual sugar that I talk about it. And sorry. Here we have a wine here with a many aromas of black and red fruits. Yeah, black and red fruits, but a very ripe fruits. In mouth, it's a really surprising wine. It's silky, it's rounded, it's elegant. So it's the tannin, it's perfect integrity here, and give in the mouth a really rounded present. So if you have had a chance to taste it, I recommend it that you try. So if it's possible with me, but if it's not possible, so I recommend it. Now I just want to invite you to contact me if you have some doubts, some questions. So I'm here, and thanks again for your time.
Thank you. That's mouth-watering, to say the least. So unbelievable. I think you entered one of your sparkling wines to the 50 Great Sparkling Wines competition. It seems to ring a bell. Is that the case?
Yeah. We participate with our espumoso in the competition.
You got a medal, a good medal? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. So we've got Alejandra there. Perhaps if you could switch on your video, it's the top next to the blue button. Yes.
Yeah.
We're just gonna have a quick video from one of the producers we had earlier, Monte. Okay, so it's gonna have a 1 minute, 2 minute pause, and if the video runs without collapsing, we'll enjoy it. Here we go.
Bodegas Monte is a winery family with many years of experience in the sector, located between Mota del Cuervo and Belmonte in Cuenca, Spain. Our wines produced under the Vinos de la Tierra de Castilla are conceived by our enologist Juan Fuentes Rus, who monitors comprehensively our products right up to distribution. In Monte, we use up to 7 grape varieties to make our excellent mid-range and high-end wines. Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, Tempranillo, Syrah, Sauvignon Blanc, Verdejo and Moscatel. Our vineyards are rigorously taken care of. We carry out winter prunings and green prunings in spring, limiting production and allowing us to obtain the best grapes. The grape harvest is done mechanically at night. This process lasts until dawn in order to collect the grapes at optimal temperature and avoid high temperatures given during the following months in a region. This procedure is performed nimbly with the purpose of harvesting the grapes at a perfect degree of maturity.
This procedure
The sugar
is
content,
performed nimbly
acidity,
with the
colour
purpose of
and
harvesting
temperature are
grapes
always
at the
optional.
perfect degree of maturity.
Once in our winery, we select
sugar
the grapes
content,
thoroughly and we
acidity,
remove all
colour,
those elements that
temperature are
doesn't add
always
value
optional.
to our wines,
Once
like
in our
leaves,
winery,
stems,
we select the
vine
grapes
shoots,
thoroughly and we
brewing
remove
them
all those elements
with
that
just the
doesn't add
clean
value
grapes.
to our wines, like leaves, stems, vine shoots. Brewing them with just the clean grapes.
After selecting the grapes, these are introduced into our last generation stainless steel vats, where
After
fermentation
selecting
and
the grapes,
maceration take place,
These are introduced into our
extracting the
last
particular
generation
colour,
stainless steel
aroma and
vats,
flavour of our wine.
where the fermentation and
In
maceration
our
take
laboratory,
place,
we monitor
extracting
constantly
the
the
particular
fermentation
colour,
and aging of
aroma
our
and
wine.
flavour of our wines. In our laboratory, we monitor constantly the fermentation and aging of our wines.
American and French oak barrels, with a capacity of 300 litres and a maximum lifespan of 4 years, confer
American
our
and
wines
French oak
everything
barrels
necessary
with a
to make them
capacity of
long,
300 litres
soft,
and a
fine
maximum
and
lifespan
flavourful,
of 4 years,
and to
confer
obtain
our wines
wines with
everything
long life.
necessary to make them long, soft,
Along
fine
with the
and
oak barrels,
flavourful.
we use 1500,
And to obtain
5000
wines
and
with
10,000
long
litre vats for slow aging
Along with
process,
the oak barrels, we
making
use
our wines
1500,
mouth-filling
5000,
and round.
10,000 litre vats for slow aging process,
Monte is
making
an
our
open-door
wines
winery,
mouth-filling
a
and
place to visit and taste our products. A unique venue to enjoy the best in the
Monte is
tourism
an open-door winery,
through guided
place to
tours,
visit and
tasting
taste our
courses,
products.
and all kinds of
A unique
events,
venue to
such
enjoy
as
the
weddings,
best in the
baptisms, and
through
First Communion
guided tours,
celebrations,
tasting
corporate
courses, and
events.
all kinds of events, such as weddings, baptisms,
Monte,
First
the
Communion
pleasure of your
celebrations,
senses.
and corporate events. Monte, the pleasure of your senses.
Sorry, here I am. So, how was there any technical hitches on there? I was getting a kind of echo on the. Okay, we can't hear you actually. I can't hear you, Alejandra. That's a message to the audience. Can anybody hear Alejandra? You've got your microphone on and your video's on, so okay, something coming through. Can you say something? No? You can hear me, of course. Yes. And try turn on your mic again. No. Okay. No. Okay, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch you off a moment. I'm going to show another video and we'll try and fix the problem, okay? So I'm just going to turn your mic off so we don't get that effect again on the video. Okay, so we're going to have a look this time at, again, one from this time we're going to look at Okay, do we have voice? Okay, so perhaps you could phone us and figure out how to get the sound test, because I can't hear you, and ask the audience. No, they're saying no. Okay. So I think if you could try and sort out the technical problem your end, I don't think it's our end. We're going to cinema show again in the meantime. Maybe you can go out and come back in and try that. So just switch you off again so we don't get any interference. And perhaps you can give us a call now on the mobile, and somebody will help you. Okay, so we went to there. That was Huellas del Titia, which is in the DOP Taberos, which was mentioned on the earlier today. Now we're going to closer to my home. It's here in the Conca de Barbara, Clos Mont Blanc. Here I am. Alejandra, there you are.
Hello. Can you?
Okay, great. Hi.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Right, let's put you on the big screen.
Yeah.
Hi, Anthony.
I'm with Paula too, as I told you.
Okay, quick, what was the problem?
We really didn't know, Anthony. It's a mistake. We start from the beginning again, and now it's working, so we really didn't know.
Okay, no problem. EGP Bajo Aragón.
Yes.
IGP Aragón, that's
IGP.
it.
Can you start there? Where is that exactly?
Okay, let me introduce ourselves. Okay, thank you, Anthony, first of all, because of to enjoy this opportunity in this really hard time for us. So it's a great time to be here with you and all these nice people that is attending this webinar. So my name is Paula Iago. I'm the owner and also the director of Bodegas Tempore. We are located in a small village called Lecera. Is in the south of the Zaragoza province, in the region of Bajo Aragón, what means the south of the region of Aragón. We are located in the northeast of Spain. We are between Catalonia and Rioja, more or less, behind the Pyrenees, around the city of Zaragoza, 60 kilometers down to the south. This is a really unknown area. We have a long tradition around vines and centuries growing up our vines. My family belongs to this land from both sides, mother and father. Also, my grandparents, some of them still alive, almost 100 years old this year now. We are a family that have the roots in this area and always belong to a family of farming people, working in the vineyards, and also this region going at cereals. It's a very dry area. In the right side of the river Ebro, which is the main river around this area. And this is an altitude around 550 meters above the sea level. And this is a very dry, very flat and very windy area. We are saying we are very proud that we have 99% of sunny days. But this is great on holidays, but it's quite hard for the vineyards. This is because we have a really low rainfall along the year, no more than 250 liters per year. But this year, the 2020 is great because until this day of today, we have more than 400, what is amazing in this area. One of our premises of a winery, well, just let you know a little bit more about us. As a winery, we were born in the year 2000, so 20 years ago, and we do our first harvest in this winery in the year 2002. My brother and me, we started with the winery because we, as I told you before, we belong to a long family of farmers, of viticulture people growing up the vineyards. And before that, my father, my grandfather was giving the grapes to small co-ops, which is in this same village. But my brother and me, we were really proud of our father was doing with the grapes, because he started with the organic vineyards in the half of the 90s, around 95, something like that. And we saw there was an opportunity in the market to promote and to show our wines. We work mainly with two grapes, white and red Grenache, which are the traditional in this area, and also the Tempore. Sorry
to interrupt. Could I just interrupt you there? We have Begonia. Don't go away.
Okay.
Just keep in, and we'll get to you. Okay, so click on your video link and just hold on, and we'll be there. Sorry about the interruption.
No problem. No problem. Welcome, Begonia. Okay, I was talking about the grapes we are working with, and I was telling that we work mainly with red Grenache, and also some white Grenache, and also Tempranillo, which are the very well-known grapes around Spain. Mainly Grenache. We're grown up around 100 hectares of organic vineyards, and most of them, around 75 hectares, are of red Grenache. Some of them are very old vines planted by my grandfather in the early 14th, after the Civil War in Spain. He came back after the Civil War, and he decided that the way of being alive with the family was planting these vineyards for a long-term life. And we are here because of him, so we are very grateful about what he was doing at that time. I was telling you that we have these three pillars in our winery, which is we are a family winery. we have the typical and traditional grapes in our winery, and one of the has been the most important thing for us is that we started as organic winery from the beginning. At the time that in the year 2000 here in Aragón we were the only one. For the last 20 years we have been working and being very intense doing the organic wines. And this is the reason we are doing 85% of our sales in export markets, because I'm sure you already know that organic wines in Spain are having for the last years a really big volume, but no in the side of the consumer. There is a small consumer. But we see that mainly with this strong situation that we are living these days with the COVID-19, consumers are starting to think the way they are doing things. They are doing the buying food and also buying wine. And we think this is a really good opportunity for all our partners, importers, distributors all over the world to promote this kind of wines. We are a winery doing organic wines for the last 20 years. So we have a very good experience. My brother is in charge of the vineyards. He is an agricultural engineer, and he's a really very well-known person about what organic vineyards means. And in our area, because it's very dry, very windy, that let us, by one side, we have really small productions, no more than 5,000 kilos per hectare. But by the right side, that us doing really good quality grapes, because we have small rain, we are avoiding disease as mildew or oidium most of the years. So let us to have a really good quality harvest every year. By the winery, unless you have any question about that, next side to me is Alejandra. She's our export manager, and she's in charge of our export market. She's the person who are doing the introduction of our main wines for this time. So I'm here to open to any question about our winery, what we are doing, organic wines, or whatever you need. Thank you.
Okay, Anthony. So should I keep going with the introduction of the wines?
Well, do you have a couple of wines to show us?
Exactly.
Okay. You can just talk us through them.
We know this is a live or online tasting, but we try to do it real. So we open the bottle. Okay, so to start, yeah. Here I have our wine, Terrae Masderanda. Okay, this is an organic red Garnacha 100% with 6 months in French oak barrels. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about Terrae. This is our main organic brand, the one we were born with, and it has 5 organic wines, but today I just bring one to show to you. The word Terrae comes from the word terroir. It means to be born in our terroir. As Paula explained, we have a very particular landscape and climate that give our wines an earthy character and a very strong personality. So we have also a land with really thirsty vines, witnesses of our past, and that have built really deep and strong roots over the centuries. So our Terrae wines bring you to our terroir to show you all the characteristics that we have to offer through our wines. So regarding the specific terroir for this land, the grapes come from Finca Masderanda, as the name itself. It is at 560 meters of altitude, and these are 50 years old vines. It's a really dry soil with limey and clays. And now let's go with the tasting.
What question? The label. What's the label depicting?
Yeah. So as this is our premium brand, we wanted to make it more elegant. But as you can see on the lines, if you see our landscape from the air, it's like all the vineyards. If you see the points are like our field and the vineyards there. So it's like an abstract image of our field and of our land.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Interesting, yeah.
And as I said, that terroir has 5 wines. Each one of them has the name of the specific plot where the grapes come from. Okay. So maybe you can see through the webcam, I don't know. It has a cherry red color with some touches of purple because I said it has been aged for 6 months in French oak barrels. And in aromas, you can find ripe red fruits, also mixed with some chocolates, toffee, and sweet caramels and hints of this high quality toasted oak. Okay, we like to use French oak for garnacha because we consider that it makes a perfect blend between the fruit and the oak. And finally, in taste, that I have tasted so many times before, it's really intense and rounded, and you can feel also a lot of fruit, like raspberries, blackberries, strawberries, but always really mixed or blended with the typical aromas of the French oak. As I said, caramel, coffee, chocolate. It has a great acidity that makes a perfect blend of all the components of the wine. So I can consider this like a perfect combination between fruit and oak, because as we want to represent our land, we always want the fruit and the grape, the variety, to be the main character of our wines. So of this Terrae Masderanda, we produce 6,000 bottles per year. And this wine is already present in Brazil, Germany, Netherlands, and the US. But of course, as we focused on export, we want to keep starting some portfolios around the world to place this wine. Sí.
And the second one?
Yeah, now just one little detail. So on the back label, you can see certified organic too, also suitable for vegans. Okay, because we are really focused on this type of consumer that is increasing nowadays too. And we are now under the process of turning biodynamic too. So hopefully by next year, we will be certified too. Okay?
Okay.
Great. So now I want to show you another really interesting project. The name of this brand is Generación. Don't worry, I'm just talking about one wine, but the brand has 4 members of the family. Okay, here you have our faces.
A ver, si puedo.
Yeah. So later I'll show you, but it's the father. Here is the grandfather, okay, Antonio, the father Manuel, then Victor the son, and Paula, which is also here by my side, here on the label, okay? So Generación is another concept of wine. We wanted to make a step aside of this typical approach of just talking about wine itself. And with Generación, we tell the story of our family. I can say that it's our family, like we all work together. And we also talk about emotions and experiences of life. We think that Generación is breaking free from rules. It's conceiving the wine in another way, because we want that all the people or the person that has the bottle on their hands to express and experience the wine alone, like without any guide, okay? So this brand, which you already saw, has four wines, represents one of the pillars of our winery that, as Paula said, is our family, okay? So on each bottle has one member of the family, beginning with the grandfather, which is the G20, because he was born in 1920, and in next month he will be 100 years old. So he loves to participate every year in the harvest and to be part of the winery process. And another important thing of Generación or generation is that nowadays people is really aware of what they are consuming. People want to know what's behind the bottle, how it was produced, why we decided to do it this way. So this increasing demand of knowledge from the consumer allow us to tell a bit more about our history and about our experience. So today I bring the G73 I must tell this, Paula.
I have to say my age to everyone.
Paula was born in 1973, and she decided to travel the world and to experience in a different way, to then come back to the land and keep going with this family project. I will also show you in a glass. So this is organic red Garnacha 100% with only 2 months in 500 liters new French oak barrels. So if you compare it with the other wine, this has a more purple intense color because it shows its youth. And also you can find, again, aromas of raspberries and strawberries, but with some hints of jasmine and vanilla, really typical from the Garnacha. And in the mouth, it's really fresh and alive. And you can see like a first explosion of fruit, but then really perfectly blended with these French oak barrels. As we use new French oak barrels for this wine, the impact of the wood is strong, so we only put it for 2 months, okay? So this would be our Generación brand. Of this wine, we produce approx 30,000 bottles per year. And we have this wine already in South Korea, in Denmark, in China, in Russia, and Netherlands, and the USA. So we have discovered that even like the story is really close to our family and our village, people really identified with the experiences we share with these wines.
Okay, very, very good, very interesting. 2 pallets, please.
Yes, two what, sorry?
2 pallets, please.
And if I may say just one little detail to finish.
Well, can we just ask Begonia to switch on her camera in the meantime?
Of course.
Yeah. So, sorry, go ahead, Alejandra.
No, okay, thank you. So just to talk in a little bit about the production process.
We're actually short of time.
Okay, that's it?
That's for the moment. Stay online, keep with us.
Okay.
We'll come back to you. If we can get Begonia switch on your camera, we can't see you.
Yes, I have the camera. Hi.
You at the top of your screen, you have a blue button. Next to the blue button, if you click on that, it's your camera. Yeah. Okay. You're live. You're here. We can see you.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Pleased to meet you. So you're in the Rioja Alavesa.
Yes.
But you're not presenting. You're presenting fortified wines. Did you say on your?
Yes. Really, I have some problems with the image.
Okay, but we can hear you. Okay, I think.
Okay. We are in Rioja Alavesa, in Basque Country, and we are a family winery. We are a medium-sized winery, and I'm so nervous. This winery is a family winery. We are the 14th edition of winemakers, and we have 3 important pillars in our winery: family, land. Well, do you understand me? Do you hear me well? Hi. Oh.
Sorry. Yes. A little bit of problems with the connection, but more or less, I think we're getting the message and the picture.
Yes, but you can hear me well?
Yeah, the voice is okay, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, we have about 55 hectares of vineyards, which are distributed amongst 100 little plots. They are located in different areas and geographic orientation, giving rise to a variety that helps achieve high degrees of complexity and in our wines. A lot of our vines are over a century years old, with an average about 60 years. And they are located in the heart of Rioja, Alavesa, in several villages, such as Fiego, Navaridas, La Guardia, Leza, Samaniego, and of course, de Álava, where are placed the majority of our vineyards, excuse me, and our winery. All of those are near no more than 2.5 kilometers from our winery, and we try arrives to the winery in small containers and never spend more than 2 hours from the reception to the winery, getting whole grains that produce a good quality. We are located between Ebro River and Sierra Cantabria mountain that protects us from the north and brings fresh air in the summer. Our vineyards are laid on limestone clay soils between 400 and 650 meters altitude. They are in a Mediterranean climate with a great Atlantic influence, which offers during the day and cool at night. The variety of plots, the climate, the kind of soils, and our caves, everything helps us to get a singular and high quality grapes that is an optimal material to be able to obtain our diverse and complex and rich wines with a lot of nuance. Moreover, we have a great respect for the nature, with the utmost attention, which is the reason why we keep our vines in the globet or Bajo system, using only organic compost, and we avoid artificial irrigation. We are from these villas and our, our environment. So we have to care this land for our children, because they are the future, and we for us is very important the tradition and the land. To keep the land is important for us. Our way of working the wines and the vineyards is mainly our continuous and daily contact with the land is the way that we can protect our harvest, and we don't buy grapes out of of our group, so we know in first hand the health and quality of our fruits. That's important for us. We strictly control the yield of the vineyard to obtain aromatic potential and structure and concentration in our wines. Our wines are, and it's important for us.
Can you take us through a couple of the wines? Two of the wines very quickly,
Oh yes.
Please. They're standing there waiting to be opened.
Okay. About the wines, we have on market two different wines, two whites and the rest, and six red wines. Now we are working for other four wines, but they aren't on market now because they are in innovation and development phase, and we are looking for different long-aging new varieties, mainly Graciano, and different capacities of barrels of 300 or 500 liters. Looking for tigers different emotions to get more round and kindness wine. Of course, we are proud of our wines because all of them from our or down until the most worked experiencia are the result of hard and fantastic work in the vineyard and in the winery. A lot of time, hops, a big work just in a bottle for everybody. But well, all of them have the numerous wine lover, and that's our price. That's our reward. Nowadays we work three different groups of wines: author wines, premium wines, selected harvest wines. Today we are going to present two of or 8 wines. Both of them are premium wine class, and it wasn't easy chose which wine, but we believe these two wines are the most suitable for this first meeting. Do you prefer that I talk about the wines, or?
Well, if you could just very quickly now, because we're running out of time, just say name of the wine, the grape variety, show us a bottle, and I think we will get the picture. Anybody interested can contact you through the website or the PDF that we're going to give them.
Okay.
So if you could just see the names of the wines and maybe the varieties, if there's any aging involved.
Yes, we have here one of our white wines is a Viña y Flaco. It's a very expressive and special wine. It has its varieties are Malvasia, 70% of its grapes, and the rest, the 30% are Bura. It presents a fresh personality because its acidity makes perfect for to accompany any dish. It's a wine with a complexity and really very interesting. It's a white plant wine ferment in new barrels with mainly French oak barrels. As 70% is in French barrel, and the rest is American oak barrels. And well, you can see very well, you can see very well the its color, but it's greenish yellow with little glints of gold. It has its aroma is mainly floral, with some fruit notes of apricots and citrus. The name is because Vicente, the winemakers, was who made the great the greatest effort for his creation. It was his dream, and the name is a recognition of him, because Flaco, in English, the thing, is the nickname of in Villabuena in our regions.
Okay. What about the other one, the P? What's the letter P stand for?
The other wine is a red wine with 100% is Tempranillo variety, and is interesting. It's an interesting wine because it shows that reflects all our spirit and philosophy. It has an harmonious nature that is ideal to be enjoyed anytime among company or in a formal or elegant meal, or for a good time with your friends. It's an interesting wine that could be appropriated for every occasion. Its name is Selection Personal because the two brothers, Gabriel and Vicente, work very hard in the vineyard, selected the grapes, and in winery, trying to get the philosophy of our winery.
See.
Excuse me?
I see. Okay, we have to stop you there because we're running close to the next session. So thank you for explaining the wines. We've got I forgot to put. There we go, Teresa.
I'm here.
We've got this document that we can share. I assume it's being shared. Yes, somewhere on the right. Is it sharing? Yeah. So we prepared a PDF. So we've got the three wineries today. We've got Monte, Reina, we've got Bodegas, Tempore, and we've got Hermanos, Frías del Bajo. So you've got the description of their wines, and you've got the contact details, and you can download those and take them away. They'll be on the website after the event, as will this video, and you can also set an appointment through the website, through the forms that I was showing you earlier in the program. So, thank you very much to the wine producers, starting on my right, Teresa.
Thank you very much, Anthony. Thank you very much all.
And then down below me, Alejandra.
Thank you, Alejandra and Paula. We say thank you to you.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Paula sneaked in last minute. And by the way, very good connection you got there in Aragón. And Begoña, thank you very much, from the Rioja Alavesa region, sub-region of in País Vasco. It's been very interesting. Thank you all very much. And we'll get ready now for the next session, which is Master of Wine, Fernando Mora. We're talking about Garnacha, so your street, Bodegas, Tempore. And we'll be with Fernando live in 5 minutes. So not to miss, we'll be talking about the Garnacha grape variety, which is on everybody's lips at the moment. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.